And tonight on a Daily Wrap, Americans say the U.S. is doing badly as President Obama's disapproval ratings increase. A Green Beret is getting kicked out of the U.S. Special Forces for helping a young victim of abuse. The question is why? A new poll finds Donald Trump will likely get the GOP nomination. And the stock markets closed today at dismal lows. This is the Daily Wrap, live from New York City. And welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Joe Concha, joined by my co-host Rick Unger. I hope your portfolio is intact.
You know, these things, what I want people to remember is that the last time this happened, back in 2008, we all have memories of that, and everybody freaked out, and it ended up, went down to like 8,500. Well, here we are today freaking out about it, but you know what? It went down to 16,000 something. So, folks, relax.
Okay, a small correction in Unger's world.
Always
to
comes
his
back.
right. She's the founder and executive director of the Accountability Project, and you'll never guess what her podcast is called. The Accountability Podcast. She is Nomi Kantz, coming on short notice. Thanks so much. We really appreciate it.
No problem.
Okay, and finally, he's a former FBI special agent, a former Navy SEAL, and currently the president of Continued Services. And he's awfully serious
He looks
tonight.
very serious.
I'm doing the Scott Walker look.
No, your face cannot do Scott
Just got to
Walker.
point at random things.
Can't
Not
do
even
Scott
I'm
Walker.
pretty sure you have
Point
more
your
hair
bald
than
spot.
Walker.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, and it's
You
Jonathan
don't look
Gilliam,
like
everybody.
Deputy Dog either.
Okay, let's get right to the daily download, please. As you know, we talk a lot about polls on this show, but what we haven't talked about lately is the president himself. In the latest CNN ORC poll, President Obama's disapproval rating is past the 50% mark, with his worst ratings coming on how he's handling ISIS and Iran. Here's how it all breaks down. 51% disapprove of how the president handles his presidency overall. The majority of respondents also disapprove of the way the president is handling the economy and foreign affairs. Overall, 52% of the poll's respondents say things are going badly in the country, compared to 48% who think things are going quite swell. 62% disapprove of how the president is handling ISIS, and 60% disapprove of how the president is handling Iran. So, today the White House confirmed that ISIS's second in command, by the way, his name is Fahil Ahmad al-Hilali, household name, has been killed in a U.S. drone strike. I believe that was near Mosul, which is great news. All of that said, with that backdrop, Jonathan Gilliam, are these great polling numbers? Does it say, as one headline did, that the presidency is a failure, or is this just typical politics of half like him, half don't?
Well, I think if more of the people realize how dismal this failure is and how fast, how
the presidency is this in your mind?
Well, all these different things that they polled them on, the Iran, Syria or ISIS, these types of things. I think if, those are very technical issues that most people don't know about. Nuclear proliferation, they don't know about how to make a deal, they don't know about the reality of fundamental Islam.
They don't know, or they don't care?
Well, I would say a vast majority of them don't care, but I think if more people saw that, these are things that are really complete failures. Well, let me count the ways. Let's see, ISIS, fundamental Islam is spreading worldwide, globally, faster than we can stop
what
it.
Would be
8
the
years.
Solution? What would be the solution to prevent the fundamental Islam from spreading across the globe?
Well,
what could he possibly doing?
First of all, you'd have a strategic war plan that encompasses the fight in the Middle East to stop the Islamic movement.
What country? Like, be specific, because if we're going to get into
well,
details here.
Well, if you let me finish, I will be specific.
Yeah.
So you have to have a military option to go into the Middle East and actually conquer the people that we're at war with. Secondly, you have to go online and defeat the movement that's online. And third, you need to come here, secure the borders, and have an immigration policy that stops the Muslims from coming in.
We're doing all three of those things, though. I'm pretty sure that we are partnering with different countries on the ground in Iraq, in particular.
And that's working out very well.
But we're doing it. I mean, that's your solution. Okay, so that's
an effective strategic plan.
All right, and we're doing as best as we can in counterterror online. Obviously they're moving very quickly. but
obviously we're not doing effective.
This is a new thing. Like, what is the specific solution?
You're a radio host, so you're welcome to just interview her directly, and we'll.
Sorry, I hear this a lot.
But actually, the discussion is really very revealing.
That's why I'm saying they should continue.
Yeah, this is what shows up in the polls. You know, roughly half the country does agree with Jonathan, and half the country roughly agrees with you. The reality is, nobody really knows what we should be doing. Everybody has an opinion what we should be doing. As it happens on the subject of ISIS, I actually side more with Jonathan on that one. I think we should be doing more. However,
more in ground troops?
Yeah, but here's the key point. Those same people, if you ask them what they would do about ISIS, they don't want us to send ground troops. We've seen that poll after poll.
Because we don't have an appetite for it?
Right.
Not because it isn't the right thing.
No, right. These are the inconsistencies. We hate what Obama's doing, but we don't want him to do what he probably should be doing.
So let me put this to something that more people understand. You know, half of I don't know exactly what the number is of people who don't want gay marriage versus people that do want gay marriage. Right? What did the Obama administration do? They did what was effective. They went out, they took it to the Supreme Court, they pushed that forward, and they
hold on.
They
didn't take it to the Supreme Court. Well, you can't be inaccurate.
Okay.
They did not take it to
Obama
the
didn't take it to the Supreme Court, but Obama supported that and pushed that policy forward.
How do you do that?
Hold on. The administration fully supported gay marriage.
How
You can't
so?
say that
They
they
held
did.
it up until Joe Biden slipped.
Right.
I mean, that's really what happened.
That's
and there was a lot of pressure.
So
they took credit for it afterwards, that's for sure.
Here's
the
the
rainbow
fact.
colors
Here's the
at
fact
White
on
House.
that. They supported it.
Celebrated
It went forward. It was an effective policy change, right? They deserve equal rights across the board. The same thing goes with the Department of Defense and what they need to do. The Obama administration needs to stand back, let happen what needs to happen, and stop playing politics with the fight on terror.
Let me respond to that because it was kind of weird. First of all, it was not the Obama. I mean, Obama may
The Obama administration supported. He stood back and he let happen what needed to happen.
We got your point. My turn. It doesn't matter if he stands back. It was a private lawsuit brought, and the Supreme Court was the one who made the decision. Wait, please. Now, Obama may have personally said he supports gay marriage, but that had absolutely nothing to do
So
with it.
you're saying the administration did nothing
What
to
could they
support that
do?
movement?
What could they
How could
do?
he?
Now let's go to what was your other point? You were making a comparison.
The
on?
Department of Defense needs to be
Right.
allowed
Now,
to
if
go
we-
forward and do
No,
the
I thought
things
you
that they
said
need
that.
to do.
Well, that is the Obama administration. You said that they should step back and let it
The
happen.
Obama administration is the leader of all these different agencies. He's the leader of the Democratic Party, right? So in that case, he's the one who sets the policies and allows the right people to go forward and push the policies that need to go forward.
So-
if those policies are being planned by people like you who know nothing about warfighting,
Actually,
then,
let me stop you a
no,
second.
no.
I worked in Libya. I have worked in national security. So you want to
So
challenge
were
me
you
on
ever
this?
in the
I will get
military?
that.
Were you
I've
ever
never been in the military, but I've
Okay,
studied in the military.
then
I
you
worked
don't
in,
know warfighting.
I lived
You
in
know
a,
policy.
I lived in Libya.
You
When
know-
did you live in Libya?
So I
Do you know
lived
what
in
that
I
was
lived
like?
in I
So
lived
don't
in
get
East
about-
New
I
York. That
respect
doesn't mean
you.
that I know what's effective.
I
unless
worked
was
in
a cop.
national security.
Go
Don't
ask
challenge
anybody,
me on that.
Go ask anybody who's in a gang and ask them if they know effective policing.
You can't sit here
Okay?
and say I don't understand what national security issues
don't
are.
know.
Okay,
I can
thank
tell
you.
because of the
Really?
way the things
so
that you're saying.
partnering with, I can tell by the way you don't understand how agencies work and how the government works.
Because
It's not
I've
like
never
the
been in an
president.
agency.
You just said the
I've been in
president can
four.
tell an agency what to do. That's not
I've been in
entirely
four. He can
true.
stand back and allow the agencies to do what they need to do.
Do you mind if I jump in for a second? I think we're going slightly sideways in terms of, I want overall arching theme here. In terms of the Obama presidency, as it stands right now, I'm going to give you a topic, and you're going to give me a grade of A through F, okay? Economy.
F.
Economy.
B.
Economy.
It's actually B. Maybe B minus.
Okay.
B minus.
C minus. We'll call it military affairs, foreign affairs.
Complete F in foreign and military affairs.
Okay, F for foreign.
I would say a B minus for foreign affairs. Used to be a B. And then for military affairs, I don't agree with them, but I think he's got a strong B.
Okay, foreign affairs includes the Iran
Yeah,
deal.
I think
by the way.
they
that's
go
fine.
together. The honest answer is I can't grade him for another 10 years probably.
That's a good point.
Wow, that's good.
a very
You're very
smart-
good. They should put you on TV.
just tell the
okay.
truth.
I have it for now, as it stands, or how I think things will be 10 years from now, probably a D in terms of foreign policy. So overall, how will President Obama be looked back at in a very fast answer, Rick Unger?
I would say he won't be listed as our greatest president. He'll be far from our worst president. He will have been a moderately successful president, but that could be badly damaged if Iran goes wrong.
Okay, very good. Love to hear your thoughts on this, but I have to go to our commercial, unfortunately. What grade would you at home give President Obama? I have a feeling it's going to be all A's and B's. Let us know at newsmaxtv.com/comments. More Daily Wrap in a moment. And if you want to get your own Make America Great Again hat, just like the one Donald Trump wears, go to newsmax.com/TrumpCap or call 1-800-933-8396. Again, go to newsmax.com/TrumpCap or call 1-800-933-8396.